5 months ago, I quit my job with a year's worth of expenses saved to give myself the opportunity to start building my dream creative life. And guess what? I've made zero progress. My money is running out. In fact, I have 263 days until my money runs out. So I need to turn my life around in 263 days. I told a lie when I quit my job, and that lie was that I told everybody that I was quitting my job to go freelance, to become a freelance videographer, video editor, and that was a lie because I don't want to be a freelancer. But I told that lie because being a freelancer is something that people understand. It's safe, it's responsible, compared to telling someone that I'm just quitting my job because I've got creative dreams that I want to follow. The truth is, I want to build a life around all of my creative interests and all of my creative passions. But I've made zero progress on that either. Zero progress in 5 months. And I'm going to talk about why. I'm in the middle of a huge transition phase in my life, but these past 5 months have been hard. I think I would still be struggling if I was pursuing the freelance stuff. Like, I think either way I would have hit this hurdle, but I assumed that when I quit my job that I would have all of this like creative energy, all of this time obviously to like start pouring into my passions and my interests and what it was that I wanted to pursue, and that didn't happen, and it really took me by surprise, and I didn't anticipate that happening. But now, having time to reflect on why that's happened, it makes sense. Nothing prepares you for the transition of going from having structure your whole life to then having none, and having to try and build that structure and create your own routine. Like, I've had structure in my life since I started school. For the past 30 odd years, I've had structure. I've had school, college, university, work, and now I don't. I'm in charge of my own time, which sounds great, but if you don't know how to manage your time properly, it's really, really hard. I've never not had routine and structure, and I realise how important it is. Like, it's important anyway, but I realise how important it is for me to be able to actually like function and make the most of my day. I also have ADHD, so my relationship with time is a funny one anyway. Like, me and time are not friends. So yeah, like, my perception of time is like a bit warped, and I struggle. So that's like, my ADHD adds another like layer of complexity to this whole transition. So to add to that struggle, me and my boyfriend bought our first home. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but we wanted a project. We wanted the chance to be able to make somewhere our own. All of the rooms need decorating, and there was just stuff everywhere. We were trying to do bits and pieces here and there. Rooms needed plastering. Furniture was just all over the place. I didn't have a dedicated place that felt like my own where I could work. So having no structure in my work life, no structure in my home life, I started to panic and have a bit of a meltdown, to the point where I even started applying for jobs again, like purely out of fear, because I just felt like I needed something just to like anchor me, and something that felt familiar, just to give me some kind of a structural routine back in my life. I have absolutely zero regrets of like leaving my job. It was entirely the right time for me to go. I have no regrets at all, despite things being difficult. But there was a point where I was thinking, did I jump too soon? Because I was leaving myself obviously with no structure at work and at home. So that's why I thought maybe I just need to have some kind of like working structure back again, to like basically just to try and make myself feel a bit better. So another struggle I have faced is with my massive perfectionism problem, and the fact that I plan for far too long and plan far too much, and I think too far ahead. I'm thinking about steps 2 and 3 before I've even started step 1, and I worry that things aren't going to be good enough because I have such like high standards for myself. I've got a really strong creative vision of the stuff that I want to create, and I know that I can create stuff like that, but it's maybe just not right now, because it's like my creative vision is way ahead of my creative muscle, and I haven't been putting the reps in with my creativity. So because I feel like my stuff's not going to be good enough and it's not perfect enough, I end up overthinking it to the point where I just completely paralyze myself, and I end up just not working on anything and not making any progress, which has led me to be 5 months in and have made no progress. And it's so frustrating and it's so annoying, because I've been stuck in this cycle for years. Like even when I was working full time, and I've obviously had like these dreams and stuff for a long time, and I would be thinking about like, oh my god, you know, I just love the time just to dedicate and put into my my passions, my interests, like what I want to do. And obviously I've got all of the time now and nothing has still happened. So it's like, well, time obviously wasn't the problem then. But I've wanted to build something for myself for so long, because I know that I am capable of so much more, and I want to stretch my potential and to be able to like use my skills and reach my potential. Like I just know that I can achieve what I want to achieve. And I do think that it's the fear of finally committing to something that actually matters, that because it matters, failing at it would really, really hurt. And I think I've just thought myself, I've made a rod for my own back, because I've thought about it far too much. It's ridiculous, and it's so stupid, and it's like, I cannot believe, like I don't even want to admit the amount of time that I have thought about doing what it is that I want to do. And because I've done that and I have thought about it so much, I think I have just put myself in a position where I've built it up so much in my head that the fear of it not working, or it being a flop or whatever, and it end up not being what it is that I do, and I have to think of something else. I think that's what scares the shit out of me, basically, is that it means so much to me to be able to achieve what it is I want, that failing at it is what's stopping me from even trying. And I know that sounds so dumb, it's so stupid, but I don't think I'm the only one that's like gone through this battle, and I'm just being honest. So I've had, though, a realisation. I'm nearly 6 months in. 6 months, no progress. My money is running out. I have 263 days to turn my life around. 263 days until my money runs out. Unless obviously I can make some money doing whatever it is. You know, I want to make like some new income streams through my creativity and whatever. I created this opportunity for myself. Like, I'm so proud that I created this opportunity for myself to be able to basically just say, sod my job, I'm taking some time to figure out what it is I actually want to do. You know, I might not get this chance again. By the time my money runs out, I might not have made any more money, and I might have to go back out and get another job. This year is for experimenting, regardless of what I'm doing. It goes against my nature to narrow myself into one lane. It's not who I am. I accept that I have multiple interests, and I love that. I love that about myself. But I'm going to use this opportunity to figure out how I can organise all of them in a way that moves me closer to living the life that I want for myself. I'm such a big advocate for staying curious, like especially in adulthood, because when we're kids, like, we're encouraged to learn and experiment and play and like do all of these different things, but when we're adults we lose that. But I don't believe that you get one career for life, and I don't believe that curiosity has an expiry date or an age limit. So with that in mind, my new motto, I guess, is going to be curiosity over perfection, because we need to kick perfectionism's ass. So my plan is I'm going to be exploring all of my creative interests that I've just put off for too long. I genuinely have a list as long as my arm of things that I'm interested in and that I love and that I want to learn. Might not all happen like in this season, in this year, but I have enough stuff to be like looking into. For example, I got a pottery wheel for Christmas. I'm so excited to get on that. I love clay and making things with my hands, and I'm actually going to a pottery class this Saturday, so I'm buzzing for that. So yeah, lots of like pottery and clay things on the way. As I said earlier, me and my boyfriend bought our first home last year that needs decorating, and I am absolutely loving doing DIY. I don't know what it is, but I'm loving it. And I think why I love DIY is because like it feels really like fulfilling and satisfying that I'm making something nice for like our home and like us to live in. And it is quite literally like making a house into a home, and I'm really looking forward to doing more with that. I got a drill, a tool bag and an electric sander for Christmas, so that says it all really. But there's like other creative things like painting and gardening, like getting better at refining like my craft and my filmmaking, my editing, and even things like I really want to have a go at selling like digital products and stuff on Etsy, and like having that as a little side project that I'm working on just for fun, just to see if I can do things like that and make things like that work. Like, I'm excited to like use this channel as a way that I can then look back on this journey, and who knows like what might happen when I sit down and film a video in a year's time and review how things went and where I am in a year's time, basically. Will I be in a 9 to 5? Will I be, you know, running my own business? Who knows? But I also want to share everything as like a means to inspire people and encourage some of you watching, hopefully, to be brave and go after like what it is that you really want to do. Ultimately, just above everything, like the thread running through it all, is that I want to build a life that proves that change is possible in your 30s. If that sounds like something that you want to follow along with, then I invite you to subscribe, and I will catch you all in my next video, whatever that will be. Who knows at this point? But yeah, I'll see you soon.